Hi, this is Chef. This fufu is done. F-U, F-U. Death Pizza. This works great. Hiya, hiya. This is Reverend Cha-Cha. Hiya, hiya. Good evening and welcome to Cha-Cha Dave's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to make some beef sliders. Everybody's had sliders. Those are the little tiny mini hamburgers. I'm going to make it with an Italian bread sliced into rings, and with the regular accoutrements that go on it, you know, the tomatoes, the onions, the cheese, you could and some pickles. It's quick and easy, and the first thing I'm going to do is I want to saute these onions here. Then I'll put a little more oil in there. And these are not going to be fried to the point where they're dark brown, okay? I like them a little soft. Okay, so those are going. Okay, now we have our ground beef. This is 80% lean. You could go with 75 because this is supposed to be really greasy diner kind of food. But this is 85% lean. And I have in this mixture put garlic, Worcestershire sauce, and salt and pepper. Okay, and I formed this. So now you need to keep these small. Okay, I'm going to show you one. Okay, just push it down like that. So they pretty much stay the same size. Sometimes I use my little roller. It's not necessary tonight. But I could use that to crack Amor on the head if he gives me any trouble, but maybe not. Maybe it won't be necessary. Alright, so now I take this off. I'm just going to transfer this over here because I want to do 4 others. Okay? This, I find, works better than trying to flatten it with your hand because you get more of a consistent thickness. Now, there's other ways to do this. You can put it in between saran wrap, roll it out with a rolling pin in a big square, and then cut it with a pizza cutter into little squares, like White Castle. But we're not steaming them like White Castle. These are going to taste better. So you just press that all down, and that's that. Let me just check my onions here. Okay, so these onions have to work for 3 or 4 more minutes. Alright, this is kind of how we want these. There's a few little brown ones, and I'm leaving this on low, and that's going to continue to just simmer a little bit. Now, how I do this is that I fry these little sliders in salt. I do the same thing with large hamburgers in a pan. When I do that, I like them grilled the best, but these little thin guys don't work that way. Alright, so I'm going to put those right on. I cut the wax paper in squares. It's just so much easier for me to do that. Now, usually on the grill you never press down. On these you want to press them down because you're on a hot plate. And this is pretty much diner style. Okay. Alright, now what I do usually, it's already cooking in salt. I put a little pepper on the top of this. So the first 4 are done. Now I'm going to put the next 4. Okay, now, while they're working, I'm going to start with the bread. Now I have Italian bread that I made, kind of in a, it's soft. I used milk rather than water, so that it would be softer. I'm going to use this one because this is a little bit bigger. This is too big. Alright, and I'm going to start here. Okay, so it's like a little hamburger roll, but the crust is only around on the sides. Alright, let's check these. Okay, we're all ready to assemble these, but they should rest for a few minutes so that the juice goes back into the burger. And I'm going to keep these covered. And I'm going to just put a little cover on that, like that. Put them there. Turn this off. I'm going to move the onions over to here where it's hot. This was still hot, but I like the little bit of the hamburger fat go with the onions. It's all going to go down the same way, but this is nice. This really gives it a nice taste. Okay, now what I do is we're going to make 6 or 7. That's a little different is that I'm going to put melted butter, so it's like garlic bread, but this is soft. I don't want to toast this. They just slide down easier. That's why they're called sliders. You could toast the bread if you wanted. I'm putting it just on one side, actually. Okay, so then on top of that I'm going to put a tomato. Okay, and just a little bit of salt and pepper on the tomatoes. Alright, now, so the burgers are going to go on next. Right on top of that tomato. Okay, now, the next thing I put on are the onions, and they should be all over the place. That's why I cut them in circles. Right, next, now, I put a little bit of cheese sauce. I don't have to do the cheese sauce on all of them. I'm going to do it on a few. And this is melted Velveeta. And then you can also use cheddar cheese, which will not be melted. Okay, on some of those. Now, the next thing, I'm going to do them all a little bit different. This is a little mayo on each one. I mean, ketchup. Mayo's white. Ketchup's red. Oh, God. Well, I have to take my driving test soon, and I'm going to have to look at that thing on the wall with the E-I-O-U, and they'll probably say, Cha-Cha, it's on this wall over here. Okay, now I'm just going to put a dollop of mayo on top of that. And we're just going to do mayo on those. And then there's some Dijon mustard. We'll put that here with this mayo. You can mix and match and do whatever you want. Okay. And then a pickle. I made these pickles, and there's a lot of things in there, carrots and some olives and cauliflower, and it's quite tasty. And they last a long time. Those were refrigerator pickles. Okay, now I'm just going to tiny bit of salt and pepper. Okay. Now, if you have any snooty friends that come over, you could get them this mustard, which is stone ground. It's delicious mustard. But this is a real common food, and it's delicious. It's a comfort food. So, now I don't put anything on the top of the bread. And this is very soft. You could also get, at the store, you could get the slider breads that they have. Pepperidge Farm makes them. These look great. And I'm going to plate these two up over here. Okay, so there you have it. Now, you could not put any cheese on it if you don't want. Some people just like the fried onions and the hamburger, and that's it. And they also like to put the bread in the grease. This is very tasty. All right, Cha Cha Dave's Sliders. Have a good one. See you next time.